Amidst the heat and dust of Kabul International Airport, British and US troops tried to process the thousands of Afghans hoping to escape.
When Kabul fell with such incredible speed, none of us ever expected it to happen as quickly as it did.
Lloyd Comer was one of the lucky ones. A former British soldier, he'd spent the past 8 years in Afghanistan as a private contractor. Last weekend, with the Taliban just a few kilometres from his compound, he had to take the difficult decision to leave his staff and flee to the airport.
With the help of the local guys who got dressed in a camise with a shamag and climbed into the back of one of the analyst team Toyota Corolla, and we drove about 35 minutes. We passed a few Taliban checkpoints on the way, but they didn't seem too interested. They just sort of waved through the hand up from the driver, and you know, off we continued and got through.
Lloyd managed several thousand local staff and ran projects for the Afghan security forces, leaving them behind, the hardest decision of his life.
The three guys that got me to the airport in there just basically surrounded me, hustled me into the bar and hotel, and I just got time to shake their hands, say thank you, and the door was closed. And yeah, it was a pretty traumatic experience, to be honest. My emotions are nothing to do with me. I'm lucky I got out, but the guilt that you feel for leaving your friends and leaving your staff behind in time when they probably needed me most is just overwhelming.
Lloyd eventually managed to board a packed RAF C-17 and fly to safety. Meanwhile, back in Kabul, the Taliban were hunting for him.
The site I was at was visited by the Taliban about 4 or 5 hours after I'd left. In some way, they found out that an expat was on the site, so they came back looking for where's the expat. Of course, I'd gone, and the guy said, you know, he's gone, he's left. But they didn't believe him, and they locked this lad in a shipping container for 15 hours while they searched across the site trying to find me.
Several of Lloyd's staff have already been threatened, and one in particular, he says, is in imminent danger unless he and his family can escape.
I just message him every day, 2 or 3 times a day. Are you still safe? Are you safe? I'm getting in touch with MPs and doing whatever I can to raise a profile and try and you know, get him out of there. Do I trust the Taliban and all of their propaganda saying, oh yeah, we'll allow this and we'll allow that? No, not at all.
After first flying to the UAE, Lloyd managed to find a seat aboard a Spanish charter flight and on Wednesday landed back in Birmingham.
Thankfully, I was exempt any form of quarantine, and the border staff and the police and anybody at positions of authority were hugely sympathetic and very, very helpful. And I got in the back of a cab and come home into my family, yeah.
The UK has evacuated more than 6,000 Afghans since mid-August. US forces are scheduled to pull out by the end of the month, and Britain will go too. For Lloyd, it's now a race against time to get his former colleagues out before the Taliban take revenge.
I'd started to process paperwork, and when I got home, I was due to get home on leave at the end of this month. I was going to go and see my local MP and see how we go about properly formalising the immigration work and stuff, but they just happened so fast, and I never got around to be able to doing the things that I wanted to do. And that if I don't get them out, that's gonna haunt me for the rest of my life.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.